All right, good morning. I just launched out of Scottsmore, if you didn't recognize that ramp. I have not been over on this side probably since last year, but I am looking for better water than in the lagoon. So I'm over here in the Indian River, gonna hunt around a bit, see what it looks like. Anyway, like I said, I'm interested to see how it is over here. But I want to get started, so I'm not going to talk to you too much right now. I'll talk some more later. So let me get to it. Just got hit by a little trout, but I'm going to change this out because this isn't really giving me the presentation that I want. I'm still using that Sabio slim stick. Just got hit. Hit again. Again. Come on. Ooh, I felt him for a second. Come on. It looked like a decent sized fish. I mean, it came like halfway out of the water. I think that would have been a pretty good fish. I've got maybe 5 strikes on top water, but I'm just not getting them hooked up. Seem pretty half-hearted. Let me see if I have a mirror being hooked up somewhere. Okay. Pretty good looking trout. Don't have the net set up. So there's a lot of risk here. Let me see if I can swing him. Yep. Whoops. Should have had the net set up because now he's tangled up in my other rod. Okay, so let's check the regulations because I might go ahead and keep this trout. So let's see. Using fish rules, which if you guys don't have that, you should get it. Season is open. Bag limit is 2. Minimum size 15. Max size 19. This guy is slightly over 19, but in the notes, may possess 1 over 19 inches per vessel. So even though I know that, I always check anyway, because sometimes they change things, and I don't want to get fined for a mistake, especially an honest mistake. So always look. I highly recommend you always look. So even if you think you know the regs by heart. Oh, and the other thing is I'm participating in another catch, photo, release, eat, whatever tournament for Bahio now. So I like those kind of catch photo tournaments. Those are fun. So here we go. A little over 19, maybe 19.5-inch trout. Nice looking fish. I haven't caught one that's been a keeper in quite a while. The few trout that I have caught have been puny, so it's nice to see some over here. This area always used to be great for trout. But anyway, I'm going to keep this one. So you're not going to see a release on this. Sounds like they're having good luck. All right, to me that looked like another good-sized trout. And I really don't know if he's spooked or not, so I'm just trying to quietly keep presenting it and see if he'll hit it again. I don't know. Do I have some? It felt like it. Boy, I wasn't even sure I had something on. So that's a tiny trout. There we go. You know, I gotta say, Water quality here is pretty bad too. I'm in probably a little less than 3 feet of water right now. The sun is getting high enough that I should be able to have some visibility down to the bottom, but I can't see a thing. Like, either the bottom is just nothing but bare sand, and so it looks like it's all silted up, or the water is so silty that I can't see the bottom, and it all just looks like the same brown. So I can't be sure, but from what I can see, just looking in the water, trying to pick up my lures below the surface and stuff, looks like the water clarity is pretty dirty here. So I don't think this is any better than the lagoon side, at least the places I've been so far, but I'm going to continue to look around a bit. Strike. Damn. Oh, get out of there. Come on, get out of there. Oh. It's a redfish. Come on, get over here. Sweet. Oh, come on. How the fuck? My grips are caught in the net. It's gonna make me lose this fish. Okay. Oh. Yes, got him. That was a little sketchy. I mean, not the hookup or anything, that was all great, but trying to land him, that was a little bit problematic. I can't ever remember that happening before. Okay, 21-inch redfish. 3 spots, caught on a mirrodine. So, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not doing a lot of sight fishing. It's mostly blind casting. The closest thing to sight fishing I've done is just pitching at schools of mullet where I think there might be game fish. So, regardless, pretty happy with this. This is my 3rd fish in the boat, so not too bad so far. What are you doing? There he goes. Alright, so those of you that follow me on social media and YouTube also, you guys may have noticed that I disappeared for a while. You know, as of this filming, it was probably 10 days or so that I pretty much stayed off of all social media. Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. And I did that because I was actually so bothered, or upset I should say, by both the Iryna, Zarutska, and Charlie Kirk murders. You know, those were just awful, and it affected me a lot. You know, I'm not a person that gets depressed, but it was a pretty dark time. I'm still very sad about it if I think about it too much. These were 2, now we don't know that much about Iryna, but she was, you know, a young 23-year-old girl. And her murder was just senseless. It was just brutal and senseless. And, you know, Charlie Kirk was, you know, a young man, a father, a husband, a God-fearing person, and you know, he certainly didn't deserve what he got. So, you know, it makes me really sad that there is this kind of evil in the world, and I don't know what we can do about it, but I know that, I'm compelled to do more. So, I know some of you may not agree with me. You guys may dislike Charlie Kirk or say that Iryna deserved what she got. But, neither of those make any sense to me. And regardless of what you think about a person, to celebrate someone's death is just sick. It is. It's just sick. And there's a lot of sickness in this world. So, like I said, I feel like I need to do more. If nothing else, I think these two circumstances inspired millions of Americans to get more involved. So, I'm not trying to preach to you anybody. This is just talking about it is just more therapy for me. But, we can't stand for this stuff. We have to change the laws and the rules and hold people accountable that either directly or indirectly result in tragedies like this. So I hope you guys at least think about it. I know I had to unplug for a while. Anytime you went on social media, you couldn't escape the imagery, and a lot of the imagery was extremely graphic, more graphic than I think should have been presented to the public. And so I just needed to get away from it for a while, and I couldn't just come out here and make fishing videos and pretend like everything was fine, because it's not. So I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get political. As you noticed, I've not said much that leans one way or another. But all of us, no matter what side of the fence you're on, cannot accept that people should be killed for speaking their mind. It's just not right, and people should be able to be out in public and use, a public train without getting murdered for doing nothing. So, anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I mean, you guys already know all this. I'm sure millions of people have said essentially the same things. But anyway, I just kind of wanted you guys to know why I disappeared and how I'm feeling about all this. So, God bless you, and I'm going to get back to fishing. So, catching a few more fish will definitely help make me feel a little bit better. Yeah, you guys can probably see now with the hat camera on that this water is basically like coffee. I mean, drop my lure in and look, it's gone. You can't even see it. That's like less than a foot and it disappears. So, pretty dirty. That is one of the reasons I'm throwing this Murodine, because it's suspending, it's subsurface, it's got a lot of flash, and it makes noise. So with the water dirty like this, I'm hoping that, and it's worked so far, it's proving that it's working, but I'm hoping it'll help get fish's attention. Since I'm not going to be able to see them, hopefully they'll see me, essentially. This is a shoreline that a couple decades ago we used to come here, and it was just thick grass and nice sandy potholes all over, and the grass extended way out there, probably 200 yards, and it was just a beautiful shallow grass flat. And we'd come in here and we'd pole this, and I can remember targeting redfish and trout and actually sight fishing them and targeting them in the potholes in the grass. It was just beautiful, and it was a great shoreline. You could come here pretty consistently and catch something. Look. Not hooked very good. There's a good chance he's going to come off. That's a snook. Let me see if I can get him. Yes. Sweet. So this strategy is working. It's not the most productive, but this is my 4th fish now, and I got a snook. And I mean, there's no way I would have ever seen that fish to sight fish him. So just doing this blind casting with a Mirodine is actually turning out to be effective. All right, little 18-inch snook. Very cool. You guys know how much I like catching snook. So that's exciting. Too bad he's not a little bit bigger. The season is open right now. So go get bigger, and I'll catch you again in a year or so. He's ready. Thanks. I gotta tell you, this is a little puzzling. I've got a few taps and things in this moving water, but usually if I find a running culvert like this, it is loaded with fish, and this one isn't. Which is very strange. There is so much bait swimming around here. I just don't get why there's not more game fish sitting in this. Oh my goodness, what is this? Oh shit. No real hard long runs, so it doesn't seem like a snook. It's staying down, so that leads me to believe redfish, but if it's a redfish, it's going to be a good one. Yeah, redfish. Redfish. Good one too. I'll if I can get him in here. Come on. Don't go for the talon, please. Come on, come on, come on. Come back this way. Oh, geez, he's barely hooked. Barely hooked. Oh, shit. Get in here. Oh, my God. That was the worst landing ever. He was on the outside of the net with the barbs caught. Well, either way. Okay, another about the same redfish, 21 and a half or so. This guy only has 2 spots, so thank God. Happy for that. This has not been a bad day. This is like, what is this? Maybe fish 5 or 6. So for not having been there since, or been here since last year, and the water conditions as bad as they are, I'm actually doing pretty well, so I cannot complain. He's starting to kick. Thank you. So I'll tell you, my thinking here was, out here behind me used to be an area that I used to catch tons of trout in. So I just came over here, figured I'd pitch the Mirodine around a little bit and just see if there were any trout in the area. There weren't, but as I was drifting this way anyway, I figured let me get a little bit closer to the shoreline. My thought was that the wind and the waves would be probably pushing bait up against the shore, and if game fish were anywhere, they would probably be swimming up near the shoreline trying to capture that bait that's getting beaten up against the shoreline and is all disoriented and everything. So that was why I was casting here and doing what I'm doing now. And it did work. You know, I got a redfish, and I've gotten like 3 other hits on this so far. So, like I said, I'm going to make a couple more casts with this. I'm not even going to move. I'm just going to cast right here. And then I've had enough. I'm done. It's getting pretty nasty out here, so I'm about ready to get going. All right, so before I put the boat back on the trailer, let me just wrap up the day. What did I catch? 6 fish, I think. 3 trout, 2 redfish, and a snook. So not too bad for not having come here in probably more than a year. And, you know, with terrible water quality. So I'm pretty happy with the day overall. It did get awfully windy and rough at the end. But I will tell you, once again, water quality is bad. There's almost no grass that I can see. And that may be because the water quality is so bad. I did pull up some green grass, you know, here and there, which suggests there may be some down there, but you just can't see it because of the poor visibility. But regardless, it was a decent enough day. You know, like I said, I like to come here every once in a while, scout it out, see how it is. I don't know if I would recommend coming here. You could, but you're just going to be blind casting all day like I was. So if you like that sort of thing, there do seem to be some fish around. I certainly had plenty more bites than I caught. So, but, you know, overall, not too bad of a day. So, anyway, that'll do it for now. God bless you, Charlie Kirk and Iryna Zarutska. Rest in peace. You won't be forgotten, and we'll see you guys next time.